Siga Broadcasting le informa que el siguiente programa es un programa pagado y el contenido total es responsabilidad de quien lo produce o anuncia.
Bienvenidos a Lip Latina Radio, the bold, unapologetic voice of San Antonio and beyond. We're turning up the heat on local, state, and national issues while breaking it down with real talk and real passion. From the streets of San Antonio to the halls of power at the White House, we're keeping you informed, engaged, and fired up. And because patriotism is more than just words, we're shining a spotlight on real change makers, the fearless, the hardworking patriots making a difference in our communities. This is Red Lip Latina Radio, where we speak loud, proud, and with a little extra spice. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Red Lip Latina Radio. My name is Cindy Dominguez, and here's my beautiful co-host.
Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Jessica Garza.
All right, guys. Well, we have some exciting guests today. We're just going to give them a little bit of time to arrive here. But while we're waiting their arrival, we want to ask y'all to please drive safe in traffic. I know the traffic is wild right now. Mm-hmm. It's bumper to bumper. People are upset and just honking. I was like, they're honking at me for no reason. But be safe out there, okay? That way you don't get pulled over and have any unnecessary tickets. And we, anyway, so I'm glad for the weather change. How do you feel?
Kind of scary.
Scared? Did you go stock up on toilet paper?
No, I didn't, but I'm nervous. I'm like, okay, everybody's talking about Ted Cruz being on an airplane.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are upset. I'm like, you know what? If he has the money, get the family out. I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah, he's done that before. It's a pattern now. But hey, I wanted to fly to Cancun right now, if I had the time and had coverage for the radio show, I would have gone. Mm-hmm. Let's fly out. Why not? But maybe next time. Maybe next year we'll be, when the winter storm comes, we'll be doing the radio show live from Cancun. How about that?
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm. We could take it anywhere that we want to go. But that would be exciting, right?
Yes. Something different.
On the beach.
A lot of people do that. Like whenever the weather changes, there's a lot of I don't know, I forgot the term, but they call them the winter or something, and they go to the beaches. Every time there's winter in their state, they go.
Like a bird? Mm-hmm. They fly south for the winter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let me know if you are watching in the comments. So I don't know why Facebook has taken the ability away for me to see who's watching. So unless you leave a comment, we don't know that you're out here supporting us. We see a number on the screen, but we have, it's on YouTube. It's on La Nuestra Radio, which is 92.5 FM, also 11:30 AM, which is the radio dials that you hear in your car. It's also live on Facebook, La Nuestra Facebook. And then we're also live on Red Lip Latina Radio, which is how we look at the comments. Mm-hmm. So our support has grown, our viewership has grown, and our audio, the people tuning in through the radio has grown.
Yes.
We have made it, what did I tell you? We made it through Colombia, Louisiana, Indiana, and Mexico. So thanks for sharing our show.
Yes,
we do
really
appreciate that. A share, a like, a heart goes a long way, because we started this with nothing really, right? With zero viewers, and it changed from one day to the next. So your support is truly appreciated. So if you're on, we see the numbers that you're watching, but if you're on, please
say hello, say something,
say something, so that we know and we move up in the algorithms. That's a lot of help. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of y'all watch it after the show, like the recording afterwards. Yeah, that's perfectly fine too, if you don't mind sharing it. And we appreciate that support, and a like and a share goes a long way. Mm-hmm. And then invite a friend. So also, if there's anyone that you would like for us to interview, tag them below and tell us what they do within the city. Yes. We're always willing to highlight good people, good community members, leaders, business people. I mean, people running for office. All just kinds of people. Yeah, just to give them a platform to be heard. And if they're doing good in the community, we want to go ahead and help them out also. But all right, so What did we do yesterday? I feel like I haven't seen you forever, but I probably was with you. Oh yeah, I was with you
Yesterday.
yesterday.
We went to Proverbs and Prophets.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Our friend Genevieve for hosting Proverbs and
Yeah.
Prophets. I think this is like the 5th one, maybe, or 6th one.
Yeah. It's funny because to me, the location where it's at, like the Ambassador's Coffee is Christian and it's surrounded by bars.
It's owned by Brenda Zurita. Mm-hmm.
And it has bars all around it, but people who love the Lord go there. Like they're not looking right, looking left, or sneaking in, sneaking out. Like that's what I noticed. I'm like, that was brave for her to, because those bars were there before her. I remember because I went to some of those. So.
Oh. And the truth sneaks out. Hey, no judgment, help. I used to work at one, so
yeah,
you know, I was like not a bar, but I was a club promoter like 20 years ago in my youth. I was way young, but yeah, so that was amazing, and I felt like that was, and then we showed up wearing blue, which I was literally standing in my closet when I made the decision to put blue on. We did not coordinate it with Genevieve, and Genevieve showed up wearing blue too. I thought, wow,
yeah, that was so funny.
Like
people thought that we did that on purpose.
Yeah, and we didn't, but that's the spiritual intuition that kicks in, you know, at that moment. So it's weird because you knew I was like, I don't know what to wear. Even today, I was like, I don't know what to wear. So, but the blue, you know, means royalty, and so I'm glad when we showed up, we were all shocked, but that meant a little something, you know.
Yeah.
Like we all have the same like intuition or discernment coming through us, and just aligning us even down to the little things, of what we wear. So while we wait for our guests to arrive, let's talk about this past weekend. We went to Genevieve's birthday party.
Right. Yeah, that was special.
I just want to talk about the cake part because I'm going to wait for her to get here. But let's talk about the cake and what happened with you at HEB. Oh.
Okay. So we gave them a picture of what we wanted on the cake, how we wanted it to be. And there's something that really highlights Genevieve. She has this gorgeous flower that she wears. I can't pronounce the name of it.
Me either.
It's like a Hawaiian flower looking thing, but it's different. It's not like if you look up Hawaiian flower, it doesn't look like that. So it's its own kind. And we looked around and tried to see how we can incorporate that, right? But I didn't tell HEB that because we couldn't find anything. We looked on
Amazon, we Google searched it,
nothing was going to be like it, like the one that she wears. So then that was it. I went, submitted the order. The next day, I was calling them to let them know, hey, I'm going to be running late. I was supposed to pick it up at 10, and I said, I'm going to have to be there till 1. And they were like, oh, okay, you're fine. And then we hung up. They call me back, and they're like, I wanted to ask you something. So that flower that is on that picture, and she's like, are you Genevieve? And I was like, no, I'm not Genevieve. And then she was like, well, that flower, she's like, that's my favorite flower. And I know how to make that. And I can put it on her cake. And I was like, oh my God, yes. Put her everywhere, wherever you want. And, you know, and that's what she did. And it was perfect. It was divine, you know, and it was God because we wanted to that.
We looked for that. We searched for it. We wanted it. We gave up. But when I tell you, like, God answers the smallest little details of your life that you ask for. And that is a perfect example because we wanted it. It meant something for us to have that on the cake. And we even have forgotten about it, right? Like, we just went and ordered
Yeah, what
the
are
cake.
the odds that somebody... And there was a white lady. She wasn't, like, from Hawaii or anything. What are the odds for somebody to say, that's my favorite flower?
Yeah.
I know how to make that.
Yeah, and I had already told Jessica, beware because sometimes when you go into the bakery and request a custom cake, they're like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I don't want to do that. But then, the phone call says, yes, we can. So yes. I love that. I had loved that story because down to the little details of our hearts, even though it's something so minute.
God.
Yeah.
He'll make it happen somehow.
Yeah, like God gave us favor in that. So the cake was beautiful. It tasted great. Genevieve was surprised. And,
yeah, her husband kept some flowers.
Yeah, that was super nice. So it's like we had a Genevieve week, right? So then also we also launched the Genevieve lipstick. And you know what? Let's talk lipsticks. We always have time to play with lipsticks, but alrighty, let's see here. So here's
All right.
so we just placed an order today.
Yes.
So if y'all are looking for our beautiful, glamorous mascaras.
Coming soon.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. They shine bright. Like
I
a
know, it's so
diamond.
pretty. I love the way it.
Super grateful about that. And you can show them yours. And we got a humongous order. I know Genevieve's on her way, but this is the Genevieve. So it's I call it the beginner red. It's kind of like a red and a brown undertone. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. Let me see.
Yeah, it does have definitely a brown undertone. I use it as a lip liner.
And I use it whenever I wear a different color that is not red. Even though I probably use it every 2 days or so. But I love it. So we got Pentecostal pink coming at you, and we got a nice bright Latina pink also coming at. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, sí, lo puedes poner.
Every woman deserves luxury. Every woman deserves to feel chosen. Because there is a perfect shade of red for every woman. For every skin tone, every mood, every moment she decides to take up space. Red Lip Latina Beauty is a collection created to celebrate you. Smooth, liquid lipsticks wrapped in diamonds, designed to remind you that confidence is always in style. And for the woman who loves a little extra sparkle, a mascara dressed in diamonds, deep, black, bold, unforgettable, because your presence should never go unnoticed. This isn't just beauty, it's empowerment, it's elegance, it's knowing your worth. So if you love diamonds as much as we do, this is definitely your product. Red Lip Latina Beauty, for an elegant look.
All right, so y'all were able to see our glamorous lipstick. So we do have some of each, the Genevieve, the Cindy, and the Jessica. We no longer have Patriot Red that is sold out, but we'll be bringing you Pentecostal Pink, and then another fuchsia that kind of looks like the fuchsia that's right behind me on camera, but we haven't named it.
Yeah, we're
So
still
if you
waiting
have a
on
good
that.
suggestion for a bright fuchsia, let us know. But all right, so thank y'all for watching that video. All right, so today we have our beautiful friend, Miss Genevieve. Miss Genevieve, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Who is Genevieve Sims?
That's a good question.
Uh-oh.
I have a very small head, so excuse me.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, trust me. I got the opposite.
Well, I'm so excited to be back on Red Lip Latina. What an exciting night. Thank you again for having me. My name is Genevieve. I am owner of the Evolve firm, as well as a company called Evolve Events and the Calabrium, and now Proverbs and Profits.
All right, and we love all of the above. We support you in all of them. So let's talk about, you want to mention the Calabrium first? And then
Yeah, absolutely. So the Calabrium is a new event venue space for content creators right there on the north side, right next to Saltgrass Steakhouse on 281. And so if you are a creator, and also if you're looking for a place to host a workshop or any intimate gathering, we have that available now. So follow us on social media at the Calabrium.
All right. And I love that space. We actually were just talking about your birthday party that you held at the Calabrium.
Yes.
And the lipstick launch party. That's how we got into lipsticks, because we were waiting for you. That wasn't on the agenda today, but
Oh,
but we
well, I'm
always
glad
love
you
to
have
talk.
to talk about the
Yeah.
lipstick. That's a big thing, guys.
Yeah, we always like to talk about it. Let me see. Let me show you yours. I don't know. So a couple of your friends had definitely purchased some while you were there, and at the lunch party. And we also talked about your birthday cake.
Oh, yes, that cake was incredible. Thank you guys so much for that. That was such a wonderful surprise and a great blessing. It's so crazy to see your face on a cake. Who picked that picture?
Cindy
I
did.
did,
Yeah, Cindy did.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a beautiful picture. You know, you have your
Thank
flower.
Yes.
We just finished talking about the flower, how we wanted to incorporate the flower into the cake. And then Jessica will give you a quick recap of what happened at HEB
Yes,
Yeah.
with the
please.
flower.
Yeah. So, like, I had told the viewers already, we couldn't find it anywhere, not like yours. Which, by the way, how do you pronounce it?
This one is called a pua kenna.
Okay.
So it's a little different. It's
Yeah.
from Hawaii specifically. So
Yeah, because I was saying that, like, you can't just look up, like, Hawaiian flower, because there's, like, so many different ones.
right.
And when we put the order in, the next day, I was letting them know that I was running late, that I wasn't going to be there at 10. I was going to get there at 1. And then we hung up. The lady called me back, and then she's like, telling me that that's her favorite flower. She's like, that's my favorite. And I was telling Cindy, I was like, and she was a white lady. Like, it's, that was, what are the odds? Like, not because she was white, but, because she's not from Hawaii. That's what I'm trying to say. So I was like, wow, what are the odds? And she was like, that's my favorite flower, and I know how to make it, and I can put it on the cake.
That was so awesome. Wow.
And like Jessica said, we had searched it through like Google, through Amazon, through trying to buy a flower, and we couldn't even
I should have just
get
asked her daughter, can you get us one of the ones that she has?
close to the flower. Yeah.
Yes,
But
I have a
loved
whole
it.
thing of them. Every time I go back or my friends and family go back, I'm very specific on which one to get back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you have a whole box of them.
Yes.
All right.
Now we know it's not just one.
Right? I mean, can we borrow one?
It changes out, guys. It changes out.
How about
That's
we trade you a lipstick line for a flower?
That we can make that happen. I
There you go.
think we can definitely
That's
make
funny,
that
right?
happen.
All right. Well, so let's finish talking about your birthday party. What else happened at the birthday party? It was so exciting. So you had a big reveal.
I did. And it was something that has been in the works for a while. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen on time. But thankfully, I just want to do a huge shout out to Michelle Haverson, my publisher, and also kind of my mentor in all of this, along with Lisa Michelle, who stood by me and just really encouraged me to finish it. And I said, hey guys, what if we reach for a really crazy goal and have this ready by my birthday, which at that time was less than 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They were like, that is a crazy
go-getter
goal.
entrepreneur.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
Let's make
And it was
happen.
during the holidays. So that's
Yeah.
even more challenging. And Michelle Haverson was like, let's go.
That's awesome.
Let's do this. And, through her encouragement, almost on a daily basis, making sure that I was on it. And, with all these 3 businesses and with the kids and with the holidays and supposed to be taking time off, it was definitely a challenge. But I can say with just complete humility that this was definitely one of the biggest things that I was able to accomplish. And so with my birthday, I was able to reveal my first book.
Yay! All right, let's see what camera is it? Put it
This
right.
one.
Push it
There we
all
go.
the way.
All the way. Look at that.
Ooh,
Yay!
ooh, love the picture.
Yes.
Love the
Thank
outfit. Love the
you.
content. Love the book.
So
That was perfect.
this photo, I want to give a shout out to Tori Sledge with Quantum Lotus, because he took this photo at one of our Fashion for Life events.
What those cheering on back
I love
there.
it.
I love
Thank
that.
you. I love the sound effects.
Love it.
And he took this photo, and that was a struggle for me to even put my photo on the book. I was like, let me just put some, maybe a stock photo or something on
With a
there.
flower.
But God was just really saying, okay, first of all, this photo, my tie is crooked. I'm not really, in the best stance. And also at the same time, the biggest significance was the color of the tie. In Proverbs 31:25, she is clothed in scarlet. Scarlet is, and I thought scarlet was always like a crimson red, but scarlet is actually like an orange red. More of a tint of an orange, which was exactly this tie.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, God, I hear you. We have to put it on. And it's not because of a pride thing. It's just to show that, what can happen when an imperfect person connects themselves and surrenders fully to a perfect God.
Yes.
And this is what this book is about. It's a compilation of a Bible study that I started for women called Proverbs and Prophets. And this really just shows what entrepreneurship really looks like through a biblical perspective. Because as entrepreneurs, we're hungry for education and we're looking for motivation. And through 15 years of business, I pretty much dove into business books, master classes, workshops, seminars. And finally, I realized hey, the book of Proverbs has all of it.
Yep.
Everything that I have been paying to watch others, it's like it's all rooted in the Word of God.
Wow. Yeah.
What does that look like in a modern workplace, though? And what does that look like as a Proverbs 31 woman? And so this is the journey of Proverbs and Prophets, where, it's just a realization that entrepreneurship is just a spiritual warfare with a business plan. And ladies, if you are in a position where you are a leader, a business owner, this is where you can dive into these principles that can help you utilize to impact your circle of influence.
Yeah. So when I started reading it, I felt like you wrote it to talk to me.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this is hitting home. Not only that, the Proverbs and Prophets message last night too. I also felt like that was directly at me. And he, what was his name, Mr.
Douglas Cox.
Yes.
What an
was so
excellent
good.
night of Proverbs and Prophets. But I think it's perfectly fine you put your picture on the book. I know you're not vain, and you're very humble. So, and your picture deserves to be there. But you know what's weird? It doesn't have the flower.
Yes, that was what somebody commented. It's like, is that really you? I was like, it's okay. In the inside, though, there is a picture of me. It's just black and white with my flower.
There you go. So
and
it's
that
in there.
was taken by my beautiful friend Lauren Elizabeth with Lauren Elizabeth Photography. So shout out to her. Also, I did put some experts here from my Bible study, from my original Bible study, and asked them to kind of write what they got out of the Bible study. So I can also put their name on there. And it's kind of one of the great things about being able to have a platform like this is that I can bring my friends on as well.
Exactly. And that's why we have you on here.
Yes.
Because no one can say no to us bringing our friends on here. That's for sure.
That's right.
That's for sure. Let's see here. So you got, somebody said prophetical prophets. Trademark, copyrighted for the future. Yeah, I think you already did that. Yeah, you already
It
did
is
that.
actually trademarked and registered now in the system.
Yes.
So thank you for saying that because
Yes.
absolutely, it is. And when my publisher and I were writing about this and putting this together, I had also another team member, Bobby. Shout out to Bobby, who is also with me on this journey. And he read through it. And he goes, and he wrote it actually as a description in Amazon. It says, "This is not a feel-good devotional. It's a strategic framework for kingdom leadership in the marketplace."
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's exactly what I got out of it. I know Jessica, I know me and you had discussed a little bit about a certain chapter, but she also wanted to cover or has questions and commentary on
Absolutely.
chapter 1.
So I just want to say, I am still on page 4, like I told you. But there was, I have notes.
I love how you marked it up. That's
Yes.
exactly what it should be. It's a workbook.
Exactly. And I did that because it was speaking to me immediately. And I feel like this is for everyone. So not only entrepreneurship, for real, it's for everybody, because when it talks about, you said right here, it says purpose, calling, and assignment. We
Yes.
all look for that. even people who are not in entrepreneurship look for their purpose and their calling. And so I wrote here for myself, because that was what related to me. Are you assigned to it? That was a question. And it was like, that's true. Last year, I assigned myself to something.
Right.
And it cost me. Remember, I got canceled. So I was able to relate to it. I was empty. Once I handed it to him, he told me what to do because I put him first. Exactly how you say it here, that you have to be anchored to God.
Absolutely.
So
Sometimes we tend, as business owners, we tend to want to take over and kind of want to do it ourselves. We do it, and then we ask God to bless it.
yes,
And God is saying that's not
what I wanted for you.
what He wants. He needs to be the center and the beginning of that transaction,
Yeah.
of that thought, so that in that way, this saves you time also. Just like how you can kind of see that outcome of your child when they're misbehaving. You're like, hey, let's do this because this will help you. And God is saying, if you do that with your business, not only will you advance further and faster, but I'll bless you more abundantly.
Yes, and it was just mind blowing because that's it. I was right here, just page 4, and I had so many notes, and I was able to pull out my Bible because you also quote verses here. So it was a perfect Bible study for me yesterday, right? And then today, I only took a glimpse because I got busy with clients, but I was like, oh my God, we're talking about the enemy's strategy. Comfort.
Yeah.
And I was like, that says it. That's just the
It's
little
so
titles,
true.
everything. It's just, it's powerful, Genevieve.
Thank
So, and I'm just on page 4. So I'm like excited to go through it.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me just break it down a little further because this is designed to be a workbook. And I just love how you highlighted it and wrote down your notes because in the beginning of each chapter, you're going to see the verse that we are featuring, which will be a Proverbs, and it's in the 3 different verses or translations. You have the NIV, the Amplified, and the ESV. And the reason for that is because when I started doing my Bible study, I found like sometimes you could get something different from each translation, and so that's how each chapter is going to start out with a different with the 3 translations on there. And then also not only is the message in there, but at the very end, and this is where it's a Bible study that you can bring to your group as well, is there's going to be a reflect and activate section where you can ask your group and discuss it as a group to reflect back on the lesson that you're listening to. So when I do my Bible study, my Proverbs and Prophets with my ladies, and I say it here in the beginning of this book as well, that when you are about to start your Bible study, you're going to read the opening invocation, which is in here. So do you mind if I read it?
Go ahead.
So every time you start this Bible study, even for yourself, if you're doing it for yourself, this is something to stay in front of the group. This is more than a Bible study. It's a divine appointment for women who are seasoned in business and in leadership. Proverbs and Prophets is a space where high-capacity women come to realign, refuel, and refocus on what truly matters. Leading with wisdom, building with integrity, and advancing God's kingdom through their influence. Ladies, you've already built something. You've led people, served your community, and carried responsibilities most wouldn't understand. But even strong women need strong circles. And research shows that if you sit within 25 feet of a high performer, your performance improves by 15%. Sit next to a low performer, and it decreases by 30%. In business and in faith, proximity matters. Negative emotions like fear, low confidence, and anxiety are contagious, but so is courage, clarity, and conviction. That's why Proverbs and Prophets exist, to create a space where iron sharpens iron and kingdom-minded women gather to be sharpened by truth and not trends. This is where your faith and leadership collide with purpose. We're not just here to study the word. We're here to live it out in boardrooms, businesses, city halls, and communities. Welcome to the table, ladies. you belong here.
That's right. That's exactly speaking my language, right, Jessica?
Yes.
What I tell Jessica all the time when we're talking, I tell her, we are the 5 people that we hang around with. So we can't just hang around with just anybody and everybody. They have to be aligned in our values. And what did you talk about yesterday? Say it.
The yoke.
Yep. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, so it was the yoke, a lot of people don't understand what it is, but it's like a device that like they use on cattle. So the cattle goes together, and if you're sharing the same yoke with a non-believer, it's not going to take you in the direction you're supposed to go, which is towards what God wants. And a lot of people do that. And it's sad, but a lot of people do that.
And we realized, well, unfortunately, not that we realized, it's happened to us where people who were unequally yoked with us, even as friends, even as business partners, they're no longer around. Why? Because they were pulling us in the wrong direction. And they, on their own, got released. They on their own broke the yoke, which was great because we didn't see that coming. We didn't see that experience happening to us. But thank God that happened. Like all this year was shedding, basically.
Yeah, and you know that there's actually a chapter that I talk about that in, which is chapter 3, the wound that woke the assignment.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that the other day, and I was like, we got a lot of wounds, right? Like, we're tired of being wounded, but you know what? Instead, we had to utilize our discernment. But just real quick, we got about 3 minutes left. Let's talk about the power of provision in chapter 6, where talk about that. What woke that into your spirit to write about that?
Absolutely. It's just really focused on, the discipline that comes with being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of people that are saying, okay, God bless this business, God bless this assignment, but they still show up late in meetings. They can't keep up with their Google Calendar. They're not delivering what they say they're going to deliver to the client. So there's still a spiritual discernment and guidance that you still need to be held accountable for. Faith without works is dead. And you're asking God to move in your life and move into your business and the spaces that you have influence. But that also requires sacrificial leadership as well.
Amen.
Yep, amen to that. All right. Any last word of empowerment or encouragement for our listeners?
Absolutely. If you are a woman who leads, who builds, who invests, or even manages, or even if you're in a position where you're trying to find out, God, where do you want me? Do you know the difference between your purpose, your assignment, and your calling? They're 3 different things, but it's all linked up with the focus of God in the middle. This is where I'd encourage you to pick up this book. I want you to be able to see what it looks like to lead not only in your circle of influence, but also your family. Start with your family, start with you. And this is where your leadership and your development circles will be able to thrive and to also show what it looks like when God is in the middle of your business.
All right, amen to that. And thank God we put God into our business. And how did he say yesterday? He was trying to make his own plan for God, to help God out.
Yeah, to help
But
God out. He
God
said
out,
that
God
directly.
helps. So that was kind of funny. Mr. Cox said that, and I was like, yeah, you're right. I've tried to help God
We
before.
do that all the time.
And I
It's a
ended up
natural
in the wrong
thing.
direction, but
Yes.
okay. So we do have our other guests here. Did you want to stay with us? You can stay with us, and we can squeeze them in.
Please stay.
Oh,
Okay, stay.
he's asking me to stay.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
So we're gonna and we have our other little guest here. We couldn't leave her in the car today. No, I'm just kidding. No, she's here behind the scenes. So thank you for being here. She was like afraid to come on camera, but hey, we're out of chairs. So if you want to squeeze your chair over here, Mr. Berlenga, and then Genevieve, move this way a little bit. Why not? The more the merrier, right? All right. Well, as y'all know, we are a family-friendly show, so we have children, we
Yes.
have extra friends, and we have everybody welcome at the table. So if you're welcome at the table, please know that we trust you, we love you, and you're here for a reason. Because if not, I wouldn't put any. Berlanga, I think I've known him since like 2014. And I've witnessed, a little bit of his life and what he's done politically. And now he's going to run he is currently running for State Comptroller of Public Accounts. So, welcome. Do we have a round of applause, Otto?
Aplaudo.
No need for applause.
There we go. Welcome, Mike Berlanga, to the show. All right, Michael, you had to talk right into the mic, so
All
you
right,
can go ahead
how's
and
that?
utilize that perfectly. We can hear you just fine. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm San Antonio born, raised, and educated, and I'm the only Texan American of Mexican descent on the ballot. And I'm privileged to be here because this is like coming back to my neighborhood. I went to grade school downtown, went to high school downtown, and I like to say I'm tri-licensed. I have a CPA. I'm a real estate broker and I'm a property tax consultant. So I speak 3 languages: real estate, English, and taxes. But I'm bicultural. I'll take the shuck off the tamale. How about that?
There you go. That works. And tell us what CPA really means.
CPA, well, that's because you're going to tell everybody that I'm a cow parking attendant. Because if I have enough cattle, I don't pay property taxes.
That's right.
But I'm also a certified public accountant, and so I've been studied and trained and have to keep up with continuing education on being ethical when talking about other people's finances, including the state of Texas.
So tell us about some of your, part of your resume. What brought you to this day?
Well, I'm so blessed to
Kind of
follow
strange,
up on this conversation because
Yeah.
I was in a seminary when I was 14 and my dad suddenly died of a stroke. So I don't take any moment I spend with anybody for granted because he was as healthy as any of us look. But I made a deal with God. I said, God, if you want me to be a priest, you wouldn't let me get a scholarship at Central Catholic. And God had a laugh on that because I got the scholarship. I was the first in my family to attend Central on scholarship, and I went on to graduate from the I like to say the dumbest class we ever had, because the proof was I graduated in 3 years at the top of the class. So I was awarded a full scholarship to St. Mary's University, and while I was there, I worked for a funeral home downtown, Alamo Funeral Home. So I realized, well, people were still living longer, but they were paying more taxes. I went from death to taxes. So that's how I got job security.
Yeah.
And I went on and got a master's degree from UTSA with a concentration in income tax. So I've been a tax advocate for people professionally all my life.
Yes, definitely. So I think I met you in 2014, and we've had a few events together on
Yes,
how
sir.
to protest your property taxes. And so I've heard and I've learned, and you've taught others, and I appreciate that because you're always willing to give of your time. So now let's see here. So what are you actually doing now? You're still fighting property taxes and running at the same time?
Yes, well, it's just really an outreach of what I've learned being the only, as I say, the only tri-licensed CPA, which stands for Certified Public Accountant, and real estate broker, which means I want your property values to go up. I want everybody to hear. I want our properties to make us wealthy or to make us more capable of being secure in our homes. I want them to be more affordable, though. And so I help, as you have hosted in the past, seminars statewide. I've been from Beeville to Brownsville to El Paso to Texarkana, and I've been blessed to teach a lot of people what they didn't know their rights were.
Exactly.
To make their homes and their properties more affordable. Because everybody in Texas is paying property taxes unless they're specifically exempt. We could spend half an hour talking about that, but more importantly, just realizing that the governor and the lieutenant governor haven't quite figured out how to fund education without taxing our tax bill being half for education.
Yeah, we're in a lot of debt right now because of that. Can you, in layman's terms, not saying that our listeners are not smart, but I want them to completely understand that they have the right to protest their property taxes, even if they have money, even if they don't have money. Like, explain to the everyday listener
Sure.
what that entails.
And I want to add that even the city of San Antonio has contracted with my colleague Ann Englert and I to put on free property tax seminars. We've done it in all 10 districts for the last 2 years. And this is at the invitation and the contractual obligation we have to the city. But what most Texas taxpayers don't learn initially, because they buy a property, they buy a home, is they have the right to protest the value as of January 1st. Now that notice of value comes to us in April, and then we're busy with what? Fiesta. We're busy with filing income tax returns. We sometimes don't see it, but when we see that notice, regardless of what the number is, we have until in Bexar County until May 15th to say, hey, wait a minute, I want to know how you came up with that number. I want to know, where did you get the evidence to say this building, by way of example, is worth whatever?
Yes.
And so we have the right to file a protest. We have the right to obtain evidence. We have the right to have an informal conversation about maybe we can come to an agreement. And if not, we have 2 additional appeal rights, and that is to go in front of a panel of 3 and say, I don't agree, but this is why I don't agree. And then if not that, as I've done for even state legislators, we have the right to appeal through arbitration. That's not requiring a lawyer. So it's a lot of rights that everyone sitting at this table and everyone listening needs to be aware of. And sometimes you need to be aware of it for maybe not yourself. Maybe it's for your family, mom, pop, grandma. Maybe it's for your neighbors. Yeah. But it's a powerful subject because, 80% of United States citizens will say they're Christians, but 100% will say they're taxpayers. So maybe we can grow the kingdom by preaching the word of property, of the right to protest. You like that guy?
And protest for a good reason.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk taxes to get them to do the Great Commission.
Yeah. Actually, Proverbs and Prophets, there's some of that in there. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that book, you're gonna have to get yourself a signed copy of that.
Jesse, I'm already looking at it. I've
It's on Amazon,
I've already
by the
given
way.
her a penny for my thoughts, right?
That's
Our
nice.
church was giving these away for a while.
I don't know if can you see
We
that?
used to have a lot of these pennies.
He gave her a penny with a cross in it.
It's a
penny
cross
for your
penny.
thoughts. Yeah, I love that.
That's beautiful.
That's so cute. So tell the everyday people what state comptroller of public accounts is going to do for them. So people always think like, oh, my vote doesn't count, so I'm not going to vote. But tell them why it does count in your situation.
Well, and thank you for asking, because so far the 3 candidates that had previously put their names on the ballot haven't told anybody what the comptroller does. They talk about social emotional issues, the border, whether they're pro-life or not, and so on and so forth. And those are all very important issues. But the comptroller actually, by law, has to issue a property value study to each and every county in the state. And if the chief appraiser of that county doesn't validate that whatever that big number is within 95%, then they can penalize the school funding. Yeah. So the power is very, very significant. And not a single candidate, I'm glad you're asking me, because I'm having to go around the state, as I've done, as we talked about before with one of your audiences when we did in person, is that, did you realize the comptroller has the authority to say to Bexar County, this county's worth X, whatever X is. And if the chief appraiser, by distributing that value to everybody in Bexar County, doesn't come within 95%, guess what? School district funding could be at risk. So that is not being talked about. Yeah. That's why it's a privilege to be here, because you and I always have very open discussions. We don't even have to agree on everything. We learn together. Yeah. And the state comptroller's office has not been very forthright in the past in acknowledging they're raising the values on property, which then raises the school taxes, which then increases the surplus.
Everything goes up.
The state didn't have to pay as much for the education. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I don't think that I can make it any simpler than that, but I'll work on it.
Well, it's for me. I understand your language because I've been around you for a long time, but I just want to make sure that we tell the listeners the importance of your race. So it's not always good to have the government reach in your pocket, in your purse. And you talked about social and emotional issues. Well, money is a social and emotional issue that can make or break you, you know? And it changes it could change how many seasons? Every year? Every tax season, it can go up because something new is built in your neighborhood, or your neighbor painted and added a fancy fence. And, you know, what else? We put plants in your yard. Who knew? Trying to beautify your new grass and flowers and planting what's that flower called in your hair? Planting those flowers here in San Antonio would totally raise your property tax.
Genevieve has a whole
value.
bush.
Yeah, so that's priceless, right? And then somebody else comes and sees it, and then they're like, oh, well, we're going to double or add more to your taxes. And then you can't afford it. You're on a fixed income. You're at a certain age. You only have one job. You can only make so much money at one job. So you're already budgeting for that. So you're not prepared for these rising property taxes, you know, and it's people voted to raise them. They don't understand that a bond is a debt that the taxpayers have to pay. They think, oh, a bond sounds good. Like, let's get new swimming pools. And, you know, but how many swimming pools do we need? You know? I mean, I guess a lot because we're in Texas, but who's going to pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know, we don't agree on all the bond issues that are up there. Some are good, some are bad, some cost a lot more than others. But right now, I feel like San Antonio and Bexar County, like, we're in debt for life.
Well, I go back a little further than where we're at today to kind of put it in perspective, but the duty of the legislature, it's in the Constitution, the duty of the legislature is to fund a free and efficient system of education. I mean, it's their duty. It's written right there. It's not a good idea. It's not an opportunity. It's their duty. I don't know how we lost the sense of how to define efficiency when COVID taught us to be more efficient using our digital technology than ever before. And yet here we are with 1,250 school districts without rhyme or reason for population or geography. I mean, in Bexar County alone, we have 17 school districts, depending on how you count some of the military school districts. But yet we only have 10 state representatives. So how is it that we're being efficient if we need 7 additional superintendents, if the school districts aren't allocated based on the population of students, and yet we've got these extra costs that maybe could be driven into the classroom, costs that could benefit teachers, costs that continue to reach the least among us, because we have a responsibility to fund education across the state equally. It doesn't say, well, fund public education, but only give the rich school districts the upper hand. And I think that's where we've lost something. I'll give you a little history lesson if I may, but right here in San Antonio, Rodriguez versus SAISD, which was a case brought before the Supreme Court in 1973, made the point that this is wealth discriminatory. And so when the Supreme Court said, well, but that's not a federal right to an education. I don't know if you don't realize that. The federal Constitution doesn't guarantee you the right to an education. The state right does. But if the state has to give us an education because the state put it in its Constitution that the legislature would do so, then where is the wealth discrimination not terminated when I know for myself, someone says, well, where'd you go to school? And we're not talking about UT or A&M. It's always, what high school did you go to?
What high school, yeah.
Because it implies that maybe you came from that neighborhood. Either way, high, low, socioeconomic, and maybe your education was impacted by it. That's wrong. That's got to end. I mean, Martin Luther King didn't die getting us the civil right to live wherever we want, borrow money to live wherever we want, only so that we could be in school districts that then have a prejudice.
Yeah. And I feel like we've come to a full circle though now, because sometimes people want to resegregate themselves into certain schools, you know? I mean, I guess that's okay if that's what they want. Ladies, do y'all have any questions?
Well, I was going to ask you, what is your plan in this specific candidacy race to really get the educational part out into the community?
Well, as somebody who I made that school choice, but thanks to scholarship and Social Security survivor benefits, I was able to take the path I took. I actually went to grade school with the governor's wife, and so I've watched the evolution. I would just say that if the governor who said, and I could play you it right here in Spanish or in English, 3 years and 10 sessions ago, he said, my goal is to eliminate school property tax. I don't do a very good Greg Abbott impression, but I can play it for you because that's what he said. Mm-hmm. Well, 10 sessions, 3 years later, we're no more closer to it than we were when he said it. So what is my role? My role is to be the voice of the taxpayers to the legislators saying, if you want to eliminate school property tax, then you will give everybody a choice. Because that means the money that you don't have to pay, whether it's through reduced rent or through reduced taxes, reduced rent being because your landlord won't charge you as much. Mm-hmm. If I want to give her a scholarship because I'm 66 and I don't have any children, but I'm paying less taxes, I think that's the path. I think the path is eliminate school property tax. Let's eliminate 80% of the independent school districts overhead, and let's give every one of those children a chance, whether they're in El Paso or in Brownsville or in South San Antonio or North San Antonio. We shouldn't be discriminating based on where somebody lives.
Yep, you're right. And I feel, I guess back in the day, they had the Robin Hood where they would take from one and
that
give
still
to the
is
other.
today. That was the response, if I could.
Yeah.
So Rodriguez versus SAISD, the Supreme Court said, oh, wealth discrimination is wrong, but it's not our place to rule.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a federal right to get an education. So Edgewood came along, they raised the profile of that issue. They brought a case against the state, and that's what led to this, quote, Robin Hood, which is formally known as the recapture tax. So we're going to take allegedly from the wealthy school district, and we're going to allegedly give to the poor school district. Mm-hmm. I would allege that they're not doing a very good job of that.
Yeah, it's unbalanced.
And I would allege that the culture of Texas suggests that depending on where you live, mm-hmm. your daughter should get a better education or better finance mm-hmm. education than those who live in a different school district. That's problematic.
It is. We do have about 5 minutes left. So is there something that I haven't covered? You want to go?
I was going to ask you, and how do you think school choice plays into it?
Well, at this point, school choice, the amount of money that's been set aside is only reaching less than 1% mm-hmm. of the student population in Texas.
Yeah.
So while Governor Abbott's been at this for some time, he feels very proud that he succeeded in getting the first step. Mm-hmm. I think we can't call it universal school choice because if only 1% or less are getting that choice,
so it's not everybody.
It's less. Let's call it near universal. Mm-hmm. So now let's say, Governor Abbott, you said your goal was to eliminate school property tax. Mm-hmm. You said your goal was to have universal school choice. Give me a choice. Yes. I want to have the choice. Give her, bring her onto the show. I want to give her that chance with the tax savings that would come mm-hmm. from not having to pay the school tax.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Because right now, I don't know, y'all are all young ladies. I mean, if you have parents that don't have children in school, mm-hmm. but they're paying school tax, imagine what they could do with that savings.
It's true.
Go on a cruise.
That help?
I
know it's a different orientation.
So Genevieve has a quote, and it says, "Collaboration is a new currency." So when you're elected into this role, who will you be collaborating or working with? Can you name some of those? But you got like 2 minutes.
Well, right off the bat, I mean, the governor says mm-hmm. he's got a 5-point plan. Lieutenant governor says he's got the double nickel plan. And Speaker Burrows, who has no opposition to getting reelected at least to the House, mm-hmm. we don't even know what his plan is. So who's going to bring those three together? If you're the governor and you're the lieutenant governor and you're the Speaker of the House and you three are going to come up with a new tax plan, and right now you can't even agree on it, mm-hmm. then maybe I can serve a purpose.
There you go. Well, I would love to have a part of making up that tax plan. And I know we could do it because we've written bills before. So
well, to build on this whole theme, mm-hmm. the greatest tax collector of all time said what? With God, all things are possible. So we just have to overcome that mindset that you're teaching in all these other areas. Say, hey, the Texas legislature, don't tell us what you can't do, because we have an idea what maybe you could do.
There you go. Yep. And I think everything's a possibility. And that's exactly why we have you here on the show. So let me just see real quick. All right. Well, we got our usuals. We got my dad watching, Veronica Grace, Sandy. Hey, guys. Justin, Christy. Thank y'all for tuning in and leaving a comment. All right. If y'all have any questions online, you can type them down there and we'll ask them. Did you have a correlation? There you go. I want to say collaboration. A correlation between what he just spoke about and something in your book today. Sum it all up. In about 1 minute.
In 1 minute. I absolutely agree with what you said about just the collaboration and just putting together the right people in the right room to agree on something and to basically just...
Okay, closer.
Oh, closer. Okay, to remember what it is like to have a foundation rooted in the Word of God that services people. Because you have to know how to serve in order to lead. And in the space of this and the financial part, I mean, you have the background and the know-how to do this, and you know the right people to put together to make this plan work. And so, just knowing what it looks like to be a good servant, to lead faithfully, and to be reliant on each other as well, knowing what the needs of the people are rather than your own selfish needs, and to understand that there's going to be a lot of interaction with the community in order to know what that looks like. So I commend you for your great work and what you've done so far.
Well, if I can just add to it, since we're going to bring the Lord into the conversation again, I go back to the greatest tax collector of all time, chapter 7, verse 7, just ask, right? Whatever our prayer requests are, take it to God. And so everybody that's listening, we know his will is superior, but take it to God. It's there, just ASK.
Yeah.
No.
You like that?
Ask. There you go. Love it. Ask and you shall receive. And the one thing I can say about everybody at this table is because we care, we serve. And if y'all don't mind everybody looking at that camera, let's just take that last photo. Hold that. Here, Genevieve, hold this. Mike, if you didn't know, we have a lipstick line. But there we go. So Otto could take our picture. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to Red Lip Latina Radio. I want to thank Mr. Berlanga for being here. Y'all go out and vote for him. He needs your vote. And every vote matters. Trust me on that. I've been working in politics for so long that I can tell you that one vote can declare a win or a loss. So please go out there and vote for Mike Berlanga. And thank you, Genevieve, for coming back on here with us. And Jessica and our little Faith. Faith is like, I can't come out on camera. Guess what, girl? This is your debut. You're on camera. All right. Thanks, Otto. Thank you for being here with us. Y'all have a blessed night. We'll see you next Thursday from 6 to 7. That's a wrap for today on Red Lip Latina Radio. We tackled the issues, we lifted up our community, and we kept it bold, real, and unapologetic. But the conversation doesn't stop here. We stay loud, stay proud, and stay engaged. Follow us, join the movement, and let's keep making noise for San Antonio, Texas, and the whole USA. Until next time, you keep your head high, your lipstick bold, and your voice even bolder. Nos vemos, familia. Gracias.